Graffiti Japan!
Yeah, all the telling me on business. I'm all about my business, but I ain't got no briefcase. Yeah, all I got's some whiskey. Open man the whiskey, bring it to you. Yeah, I'm leaning up against the door, and my feet are to the floor, and we're messing on go. Yeah, I've been in before. I'm a broken man, needing remedial lands. I'm all about my business. Let me love you till the morning. Let me love you till the morning, yeah.
What's up, faders, and welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny. And as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about two dudes, booze, Japan, and the news. And faders, this is episode number 803, and this is a very special episode because, faders, in this episode, we are interviewing a cool person doing something awesome here in Tokyo. We've got Ken Kawabata on the podcast, and Ken Kawabata is a guy that you should know because this guy is on the go. This guy does a little bit of everything, and what he really mainly does is write. And I love this guy's writing, and so he's on the show, and he's going to talk about his new book called Necro City. I read Necro City about a month ago. I finished it. Now, it's interesting, Ken, because you gave me this book at a Tokyo Art Tank about 6 months ago, I think. And when you gave me the book 6 months ago, I read the first chapter, put it down, and somebody stole it. Yes, things get stolen in Tokyo, believe it or not. And anyway, after that, which is probably a good thing, because maybe somebody stole it because they liked it, and they read it, and they loved your book, and now they're a big fan. You know, or
here's hoping.
There's always hope.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I told you this terrible story, and you gave me another book for free, and I read it immediately, and I loved it. I loved the first chapter, and that's why I was so bummed. And then when I read this book, I was just like, oh my god, this is such a great book. Now I'm done talking. My spiel is over. Now it's your turn. Ken, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
There's a lot to say for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know. In a nutshell, I am Dutch and Japanese. I've been living in Japan now for the past 13 years.
Cool.
Most of that time doing what everybody else does when they get over here, which is teach English. And over the years, did that. Originally, I went to film school.
Cool.
In London and Toronto. Kind of found a love for writing from there, writing screenplays and helping people with their screenplays and stuff like that. And so me and my wife, we have a publishing company. We published Necro City. There we go. That published this book, amongst many others, poetry collections. My wife is the actual talent between the two of us. She's an incredible poet. Won Best Canadian Short Story, a few years back. Like, she is bona fide talent. But yeah, I just try and do what I can with my genre nonsense that I try and write.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. So, all right, there's so much to appeal. And so I just want to start off with this book right here.
Yeah. No.
This book was awesome from the very beginning until the very end. It was very, very, very interesting. There's definitely a Hunter S. Thompson feel to it, especially at the end. Have you ever read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Oh, for sure.
Of course, yeah. Stupid question, right? So, the whole, cafe scene where basically, it's not written in the guy's Hunter's perspective anymore. It's written as kind of like, it's like somebody's just reading notes about, like, what happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because, like, there's a part of your book. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers away because I want everybody to buy this book because it's so awesome. But there's a part of your book that has that, And then when I started reading it, I was just like, oh, my God, this is kind of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Here, I'll show you which part I'm talking about. I think you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this part right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got to this part, I was like, oh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Oh, my gosh, taking me back to high school. I thought that was cool. But, I mean, a lot of this book is very, very interesting. So before I start talking about my perspective of your book, I would like you to basically, for the faders discovering Necro City, how would you describe the world that they're about to walk into?
Well, it is a, noir-drenched world, kind of an alternate reality, where basically, all manner of demonry, undead, all this kind of thing is the norm. Mm-hmm. So the whole of society is made up of different beasts, vampires, zombies, this kind of thing. And kind of as allegories for different types of people that exist within all the cities. I wanted to write something with a zombie detective. I think that thought has been in my mind for a very long time. So that was kind of the impetus for it. And then the world kind of got built out from around him, basically. And what kind of world would he be living in? Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of straight fiction. I like more kind of like abstracted realities, and this was like a way of me making a movie like without a budget. Because this is like a movie that's been in my head, playing in my head for such a long time, that it reads more like a treatment. So it's kind of like stepping into this world is like stepping into a movie, and just like, and you can read it pretty quickly as well. It's kind of like, it almost will take you like 2 hours, like the length of a movie, to actually get from start to finish. So that was kind of, planned in the writing of it as well.
Well, that's interesting. I'm glad that you mentioned movies, because I was going to talk about that in a second. When I finished reading it and I started thinking about the story, it kind of reminded me of like a bunch of movies that got married and produced a baby. For example, I think like if Pulp Fiction met Sin City, met Natural Born Killers, met the Maltese Falcon, they all got together and produced a baby. That baby would be this novel.
Oh, that's very high praise, and definitely movies that I take a ton of inspiration from, for sure. True Romance as well, as a little nod to True Romance in there too. But obviously, a lot of noir, but mostly kind of based upon, I think it's George Orwell that said that all fiction is abstracted autobiography. So obviously a lot of experiences of my own put in there, but like the sheen of the movie, or the novel, or novella in this case, is like cinema, basically, because that's my frame of reference. That is, like, it's going to sound extremely pretentious, but a lot of the times I dream in movies.
Wow.
And this sounds weird, because you're like, oh, it's a dream, how do you know it's a movie? I know it's a movie because I feel like I'm actively watching it, and I'm imagining scenes from movies, and I can actually feel like I am like third person watching it.
Like Mystery Science Theater 2000?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're like watching it, talking shit. You're like, oh God, look at this.
yeah. But it's just kind of like, oh, that might be interesting. And then, so I'm big into like dream journaling. And so like while I'm awake, like when I first wake up, I will grab a notepad, a phone, whatever, and because those moments biodegrade so quickly, I will just immediately start typing whatever nonsense I was looking at, and then I look back at it, and if it sucks, but if it's great, then it goes into the book. And so like that's how I build up a lot of my plot lines as well. It's like actually the detective of the dream world is actually part of the novel as well.
So what you're saying is, as you're writing this book, you would sleep and you'd wake up and you'd have inspiration for like the next chapter.
Sure, or a moment, a scene, a line, a character, whatever it may be, like a detail. Instead of just going like, in this genre, what would work next? Because I think it's very easy to kind of like write by numbers. I'm not a particularly talented writer, but I feel like this is written in my voice, whatever that might mean. There's always going to be more talented writers, more linguistically sophisticated writers out there, but I can only write a Ken Kawabata story, and that's kind of what I feel about this book.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more about that because, I mean, if you try to be something that you're not, everybody's going to smell it out like a fart in a car,
Sure,
right?
sure,
So the thing is, it's just like, I mean, Jack Kerouac, the way he wrote was the way he talked, right? And it's the same thing with, like, Charles Bukowski. Charles Bukowski, I mean, if you read any of his stuff, like Pulp or whatever, pretty much, I mean, you could hear him. It's like basically, you know, if you think about how he talks, that book is written how he talks, you know?
Indeed.
It's great. And,
Big fan of the beats. I mean, the beats are all over this as well.
Really?
Yeah. And a huge inspiration from all of them. And
Wow.
Bukowski and Burroughs being my favorite from the beats. Yeah.
Really, Burroughs.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I never got into Burroughs. I love Burroughs as a person, you know, but his writing I never really got into. I saw Naked Lunch, and I was like, huh. Then I tried to read it, and I was like,
A Naked Lunch is a mess. Naked Lunch is a hot mess to read. But, you know, there are, you know, for example, The Adding Machine and other essays. I mean, I think there is such a range of things that he does, from, like, Western to sci-fi, you know, Nova Express. And I think it's about, like, it's like wine, you know? Like, some people, like, have a really bad glass of Chardonnay, and they're like, I'm not into wine. Wine sucks. And then you have, like, a Sauvignon Blanc, and you're like, that's the one. And I think it's the same with Burroughs. I think there's so many different flavors and styles to the ways that he writes and the voices that he has. Naked Lunch certainly being a hot mess of, you know, people picking through a junkie's, you know, fucked up apartment, you know, trying to piece together this into some kind of novel. You know, certainly a genius and respected as such, and that's you know, it's difficult word to use, but I think he definitely falls into that category for me personally.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to revisit him. Yeah. Have you read Philip K. Dick?
Sure.
Really?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, his books are interesting. All his books start off so great, but at the end, it's just like he just wraps it all up. You know, like the Man in the High. Was it the Man in the High Castle?
Yeah.
Was that was the title of the book?
Yeah.
They also made it into like a TV show. I never saw the TV show.
Amazon did it,
Yeah, but I read the book, and the book was amazing until like the last like 40 pages, where he just wrapped everything up, and I was just like,
Yeah.
guy wanted to get paid, I guess.
But it's curious you bring up Philip K. Dick after William Burroughs, because William Burroughs did a version of Blade Runner.
No way.
He actually wrote this. It's a very short story, but
Oh my
he
God.
wrote like his version of the film of Blade Runner, like in his voice, which is
Really?
like fascinating.
His voice. Oh my God, his voice is more unique than mine. Like,
Sure,
You know, he's
sure.
all nasally and he's talking like he's got that flow to how he talks. You know,
Indeed,
it's like very
indeed.
old style, like 1940s. I mean, yeah. Great guy. Great guy. Yeah. A lot of great people worshipped William S. Burroughs. Kurt Cobain loved him. You met him once, actually.
They collaborated on a song.
They did? Get out of here. What song?
Fuck, I don't even remember now. But they did collaborate on one song together. 'Cause,
Really?
like, Burroughs was in his thing of like using his voice rhythmically with certain artists. There's a couple of great albums out there. But yeah, they became kindred spirits. And yeah, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Can you tell us more about this book? Because this book is very interesting. It's almost like Pulp Fiction-esque, where there's like 3 stories that are kind of like intertwined amongst each other. My favorite is the story of Frank and his daughter. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
The story of Max and his girlfriend is also very interesting, especially towards the end. I'm trying to talk about this book without giving too much away, you know,
Sure.
because it's such an interesting
Sure.
book. But can you explain or talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah, like you mean like the kind of, it's not necessarily Rashomon, but like, you know, these intertwining stories that seem separate, but they exist under this umbrella basically. So the way I was envisioning it is kind of like how you would a TV show, where sometimes there are very disparate storylines that are going on. There was a great HBO show called Carnival, which did that, where one storyline was Clancy Brown as this preacher, and then the other storyline is this traveling circus. And you're like, but nothing is really said about how they're connected. But the DNA is there, where like they're all existing within this one world. So I used that as a method to kind of explore different facets of this world in a very quick fashion, instead of one character having to go through all of those things. That we could jump from, like, for lack of a better term, like a Bonnie and Clyde style story and a detective story, and also, very much feelings that are, I think, shared by many people today about this kind of weird authoritarian world that we're living in. And so, this was just a way of just like really quickly touching upon them and mixing these stories into the soup that is the kind of world I wanted to build, basically.
Interesting. Yeah, I liked how you wrote the book. So you know William Gibson, right?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Like how, especially in his later books, every chapter was about a different character, and that's kind of like how you wrote your book. So go from like let's see, there's so many characters in this book, so I had to take notes. So like between Frank and Max, and Frank and Sally, who is like the main detective, who's kind of like a zombie Humphrey Bogart, and he's trying to find his daughter, who's like in a cult, like I think it's a satanic cult, or is it a revolutionary satanic cult?
Anarchists.
Yeah. Okay, anarchist.
Yeah.
And then you've got the I guess the mayor, and the mayor's like this, of course, the typical mayor, greedy, with all sorts of crazy rules and laws in the city that's pretty much on the borderline of anarchy, which is kind of cool. So you've got his story. Then you've got the story of Tex and Elizabeth, who changes her name to Cyan throughout the book. For some reason, I didn't even get that. But anyway, she just changed her name. She's like, my name is Cyan now. And he's like, all right.
She actually changes her name several times, but that is explained in the book. That like the reason why she goes through all these different permutations.
So I got a theory behind
Yeah.
it, but I don't want to give. This book is so interesting. So this is like the hardest book to talk about without giving too much of it away.
Right.
Because I think it's a book it's like, okay, imagine watching Pulp Fiction after. All right. Watching Pulp Fiction without knowing anything about that movie is incredible. At the very end of the movie, you're blown away, you're floored. You can't talk for like a day. But if somebody told you about Pulp Fiction and they explained it before you saw it, it's still a really great movie, but it's not as good as watching it for the first time. And I think it's exactly the same with this book, which makes this book very difficult to review and talk about with you. Because if I start talking about the plot too much, and if I give a little bit too much away, I think that'd be really bad for anybody that would be interested in like reading this book, which I think they all should,
Well, it's very condensed. It's a novella at the end of the day. So, yeah, a lot of things happen. There's certain big inciting incidents, but I think all you really need to know, it's like a detective that is on the case, trying to connect various dots together. Some of the characters intertwine, some of them don't. I also love the movie Magnolia by Paul Anderson, and I like that aspect of being able to like almost like switch the channel, within the world, so you're never lingering on one thing for too long, and so I think it's like a lot of things, best going in at least somewhat blind into it.
I agree.
It's just if those themes interest you, then
I agree.
Maybe the book will interest you too.
Another cool thing about your book is that everybody that's in the book for the most part is either a vampire, kind of like a dog person, a wolf man, a zombie, or a humanoid kind of borderline zombie that cannot die for one reason or another. And it's like, it sounds like kind of like a horror book, but it's not scary at all. It's a detective novel.
Yeah.
It's with a weird twist at the end that I want to talk to you about after we do this podcast, because I thought it was quite fascinating. Wow.
And I just wanted to... Okay, so the reason for why all these characters might seem a little bit of left field and why they're all monsters is the fact that I'm Dutch and Japanese, right? Like, I'm mixed race. You know, and what was it? You know, Earl Sweatshirt had, like, one of my favorite lines. He's a rapper. And it's, I'm too white for the black kids, too black for the white. And that's kind of how I feel. I'm never really existing in either world, you know, too Japanese to be Dutch, too Dutch to be Japanese. And, you know, always feeling like the outsider. And so I gravitate to outsiders, the weirdos, the punks, the freaks, you know, this kind of thing. You know, which are like most of my friend base, people that I'm interested in, cinema that I'm interested in, usually about outsiders and punky filmmakers and all that kind of thing. And so I wanted to write a world where usually the vampires or the zombie, if they become like a protagonist in the story, they're always seen as an outsider. And it's kind of set in this alternate universe, New York, where I feel like, you know, it's all based up of outsiders. And, like, nobody in New York is from New York, you know. But if you spend enough time there, you're a New Yorker, you know. And I just liked that kind of idea of all these creatures and beasts and things that will usually be seen as scary or derisive or all that kind of thing. It's like, what happens when a werewolf has a child, you know, and has to kind of work in order to take care. Like, it's just like a regular story, but with, you know, that point of view of that ultimately there are no weirdos. We're all just people, ultimately. And that was kind of the point that I wanted to make. And the actual humans in the movie, in the novel...
The normies.
Are the normies, right? And it's kind of more of a derisive term for people who are, like, you know, blindly following along in the masses. And I think, again, that's a problem that we're facing today, of people not questioning things and just, you know, being these kind of like lemming-like consumers of whatever is thrust directly into their face. And I think the world can use a few more freaks, weirdos, and outcasts who are outspoken and put into action what they believe in. So that was kind of the reasoning behind that.
The underlining of this book. Wow. And that's a show.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. That was exactly what I wanted to hear, because, I mean, I kind of got that feeling where it's just like there are normal people in this book, the normies, you know, the regular tax-paying Joes, right? But the thing is, it's just they're like the minority, and they're the ones that for lack of a better term, the weirdos, the freaks, the monsters are devouring from time to time, you know?
Yeah.
Like the bloodsuckers are like just taking them up like it's going out of fashion, right?
Yeah.
That definitely makes a lot of sense. That's awesome. That's great. That's very, very cool. God, I want to talk about the ending so bad. I really do. Now that after a couple of drinks, I'm like, spoilers. We can't do that. Before we get too deep, where can people pick this up?
So, moonhotelpress.com. That is me and my wife's publishing company. You can find us on Instagram as well. we don't do PDFs. We do physical media. We believe in the copy. We believe in print.
Like tangible books.
Tangible books.
Good.
Things you can hold
Good.
in your hands.
God, I love tangible books.
We don't do ebooks. We ship worldwide. They're very reasonably priced. Like each of our books is like maybe $6-7. And so and we have a big range of things from collections of poetry, diaries, fiction, and more things along the way. Yeah,
well,
we have
that's
a
fantastic.
lot of stuff planned. I released my album through Moon Hotel Press as well last November. It's a punk album.
Wait, you're in a band?
I'm in a band, yes.
How come I didn't know about that? I run events.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
You didn't know.
Well, there we go. We're called Pope Bastard and the Heretics.
I know the Heretics. There's the band called the Heretics.
Yeah. Well, that's not the people that are in my band, but we're called Pope Bastard and the Heretics.
And the Heretics.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, I'm thinking lawsuits somewhere down the line.
No, we're good. But yeah, we're basically. I was living in the UK, and I know it's the same in the States, but I didn't spend a lot of time in the States. But there's a lot of evangelical preachers in the street in Manchester where I used to live.
Wow.
And they'd be, shouting fire and brimstone, all that bullshit. Not to say there's anything wrong with religion, but if you're shouting it in the street through a loudspeaker, in a public place where you're not inviting discourse, you're just like postulating all this shit that I personally don't care about. If people care about it, that's fine. I don't care about it. So I kind of started developing this character at my wife's open mic poetry night, Drunk Poets See God, here in Tokyo. And I wanted to be a preacher who preached about shit that I cared about. My patron saints are the people we've been discussing. William Burroughs and Bukowski, David Lynch. These are the people that I admire.
Yep.
And so I created this character where I started being this like faux evangelical preacher, but talking about those things that they cared about and that I cared about by proxy. Issues about, mental health and perception of mental health in society today. It's okay to have depression. It's okay to feel a little paranoid. It's okay to love in whatever way that you see is fit between two consenting adults. Like, who gives a fuck about gender and this and that, and it's all that political bullshit that the church is somehow involved in dealing what's in people's private bedrooms. It's disgusting. So I wanted to be like an anti-pope for lack of a better term, where I could talk about that. There's a guy called Robert Anton Wilson. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, I don't know.
Amazing philosopher, writer, definitely adjacent to the beat scene and all that kind of thing. And he had this thing where he would pope people. He'd go, testicles, breasticles, brandy, cigars. I now pronounce you pope. And then as pope, you have the power to make other people pope. And you can also unpope anybody that you want to as well. Kind of really breaking the dynamic of like, no, it's just one guy that's selected by God. The smoke happens, so he's the Pope, no, it doesn't fucking matter. What he was trying to say is that we're all just fucking people. Nobody is deified. Nobody is called, to, be anything higher than anybody else. These kings, these queens, they're all just fucking people. We're all just people, and all of our voices are just as important. And for me, the reason for the band was like, the writing of Hunter S. Thompson and William Burroughs is as important to me as the Bible is to others.
Yeah.
So why not be allowed to preach about that? So that was the concept.
You need a podcast.
Yeah. But that became a band. I started, doing it on stage. A lot of people, started to react well to it. So I started bringing in other musicians, and we would jam out, and I would do these rants, and then eventually that became an album we recorded.
Wow, cool.
Some songs, some kind of mini sermons, as it were. So that's us, Pope Bastard and the Heretics, and our album is also on Moon Hotel Press. So
fantastic!
If you want to find it there, yeah.
No, I've been to your guys' open mic at Tokyo Arctic a couple of times, and I've seen you read poetry. When you read poetry, it is kind of like a pope, not a pope, but a what's it called, a minister.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you kind of have that flow.
Yeah, well, that's where I first performed it, was at Art Tank.
No way, are you
That
serious?
is-
Tokyo Art Tank.
Yeah.
Plug!
And actually...
By the way, do you want some wine?
Yeah, hit me up.
Dude, it's Friday the 13th, Faders.
There
And
we
so,
go.
because it's Friday the 13th, we've got Casilro de Diablo.
Yeah.
This is the Devil's Wine. Woo! And it's from the golden year of 2029.
From the future.
You caught that.
I love it.
Yes, it's from the future.
I love it.
Kampai.
Kanpai.
But that's fantastic. So,
But actually, sorry,
Yeah.
just to interrupt.
no,
for a moment.
please. No.
So it's actually at that art tank, there was a guy called Marcellus.
I love Marcellus.
Yeah. So he had his band with him.
Oh, his daughter's playing drums.
His
that
daughter
time?
was playing drums.
She's good.
There was
She's
a guy
really
playing
good.
keyboards and bass.
Yeah.
So the guy playing bass, I met him there. His name is Dale Walker.
Yep.
Good Southern boy. And he became the bassist in my band and helped me produce the album.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it was through that connection that I met him. And he's like the only one in the band that has like actual musical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all like self-taught doofuses that are just like, so I guess we're in like A or something. And he's like, oh, actually, you're going to have to be doing like this, A suspended minor on this thing, and then you do this. And so he's very much like the musical coordinator.
Wow.
Between us. But, together, like, the four-headed beast, like it all kind of comes together.
Wow,
And,
very cool.
We've done some live shows, and we put on a decent show, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. I book shows all over Tokyo.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a venue in Koenji, one in Asagaya, and one in Shibuya where I run events.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gamuso?
Gamuso is
Yeah.
one, then I've got Den, and then I've got Knob in Shibuya. So yeah, and I've got a punk rock band coming in from San Francisco, I think on June 28th.
Yeah.
I think that's the last Saturday of June.
Yeah,
And it's like 95% that they're going to come. They haven't
Okay.
bought their tickets yet, so I don't want to say the names. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
Every time I said, like, a band is coming or I'm going to have somebody on Got Fitted Japan, jinx.
Yeah.
David Chappelle.
You almost got Chappelle?
Dude, I had Chappelle on this show.
Yeah.
I had this show. Dude, it's when he came to Tokyo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I've had a lot of comedians on this show. I've had so many. I had what you call it, Tom Green on this show,
Mm-hmm.
and plus a bunch of other celebrities, right? Back in the day, I used to get a lot of celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
and then David Chappelle was coming to Japan, and so I was like, oh my god. So I found out his talent agency. So I
Yeah.
contacted them, and then they're like, okay, that sounds fantastic. We're going to hook you up with like the Asian agency. So I guess there's like an American agency, then there's management, and then there's like an Asian management that takes care of David Chappelle, which doesn't make sense to me, but whatever, that's how it rolls. And then they're all into it. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have on the podcast and stuff. Is it cool if we do something like online with Skype? Because at the time, everybody was doing Skype. It was before the pandemic. And I was like, absolutely, yeah, that's no problem. We had a date set up. We had everything all set up. Everything was totally cool. And I was like so excited, and I told everybody about it because this is right after the Chappelle show or whatever. I mean, this is the biggest thing. After this, I could drop the mic and just say quit podcasting. I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm done after Chappelle. And I was so thrilled, and like an idiot, I told everybody. I'm like, dude, I got David Chappelle on the show. Yeah. Dude, on this date, David Chappelle's going to be on the show. It's going to be great. And then I was going back and forth every so often with this manager, and I still have this manager. I have everybody's email address on this computer right here. So if you want to see it, I'll give it to you. I don't care anymore. So anyway, eventually he sends me this message saying like, oh, David Chappelle sold all his tickets, so he doesn't need to do any more promotion. Thank you in advance for the podcast. Good luck with everything. Bye. Now I'm like, what? What? No, what? No, he's supposed to be on the podcast, but you don't need it. You sold all the tickets. But I told everybody. And so, I jinxed it. By me saying it, I jinxed it. So now I don't tell anybody anything. And David Chappelle, I know you're not listening, but if you are, you're still welcome.
Okay.
Oh, man. Could you imagine having David Chappelle on the podcast, meeting him? I mean,
for sure.
Tom Green was great. Tom Green was great. Oh, my gosh. He was fantastic. Bob Sapp was amazing. I'm name dropping now.
Yeah. I know Bob Sapp. Yeah.
Great guy. Really nice guy. But anyway, so enough about that. Let's talk about you. So, okay. How can people... dude, wine is for sharing. Just grab it and give yourself a pull. So, for your publishing company, how can people get involved in this? Let's say there's somebody that's coming to Japan or living in Japan, and they have a book that they have written and they want to have it published. How can they contact you, and what is the process?
We've got an Insta. It's a Moon Hotel Press, just search us at Moon Hotel Press. And so you can get in touch with us there through our website. There is an email address you can contact us through. We're not exactly open submission in the sense that if you send it, it's like a done deal. Yeah. Because it is literally just me and my wife running the whole thing. My wife is like, professional level editor. That's her superpower. I'm more logistics, getting everything, to print and making sure the designs are there and putting it all together and getting the physical copies out there. If you feel like you have something good, for sure, send it. But we're very particular in terms of we want to make sure that we're releasing quality. Beyond that, we want to make sure that we are mixing it up with a little bit of diversity, and that can come in the form of poetry to novel to novella to diary, and coming from a bunch of different perspectives.
Yo, what's up, Faders? Got Faded Japan has got a new sponsor. Our new sponsor is Gamuso Bar, located in Asagaya, Tokyo. If you're kicking it in Tokyo and you want to get your groove on, get your fade on, you better get your ass down to Gamuso. Gamuso is located in Asagaya. It's about 11 minutes from Shinjuku Station on the Chuo line. Gamuso has weekly bands, weekly performances. And hell, if you got your own event and you want to hold it at Gamuso, we'd love to host you. So contact Gamuso at www.gamuso.com. That's www.gamuso.com. That's right, Gamuso has not only beers in the bottle, but beers on tap. We've got every drink you want, so come on down to Gamuso. Gamuso, and if I'm working, tip me.
Have your attention, please. Attention.
Hey, yo, what's up, Vaders? Johnny here. You know I love booze and news, but I also love art. So come on down to thespiltink.com and check my art out. I've got tons of stuff there for you to check out. I've got paintings, I got prints, I got videos. And I tell you what, if you like a painting, I could probably sell it to you. And I tell you what, if I can't sell you that painting, I will definitely sell you a print. I've got prints of all my work. Prints are about 2,000 N each, about $20. But if you buy 2, you get the third one for free. So come on down to thespiltink.com. Yo, and on top of that, I'm looking for commissioned work. So if there's something that you want me to do, I can make it for you. Just check out my stuff and see if you like my style. And if you like my style, I can definitely paint you anything on canvas, paper, whatever. I've done it all. So come on down to thespiltink.com. That is THESPILTINK.com. Thespiltink.com. Proper. Mitsuya Liquors. Yo, what's up, faders? If you're in Asia, if you're in Japan, if you're in Tokyo, if you're in Asagaya, you better get down to Mitsuya Liquors. That's right, for the most affordable prices in Japan, you can get over 300 different kinds of beer. That's right, over 300 different kinds of beer. And of course, they got all the shochu you need, all the sake you need, and of course, they got wine from California to Italy to France to New Zealand. They got it all. When I say they got it all, they really, seriously got it all. There's no joke about that. So get down to Mitsuya Liquors. And if you go in there and you say, Got Fitted Japan, you will be more than welcome to go into their back room and drink those beers that you just purchased. That's right, Got Fitted Japan at Mitsuya Liquors. And 3 times a week, they have a sushi chef there. So get your sushi on, get your drink on, get your fade on, and come on down to Mitsuya Liquors, located comfortably in Asagaya, about 5-minute walk from the station.
In Tokyo and craving soul food? We've got just the place for you. Soul Food House in Azabu Juban. Check out what we do at soulfoodhouse.com. Come by and taste the love. We look forward to feeding you.
Are you in Harajuku with some out-of-town friends or your family or significant others? Yeah! Do you want to chill and drink beer and eat sandwiches while your friends overpay for glitter unicorn socks? Yeah!
And the flavor's gonna make you complete at Harry's Sandwich Company.
So come on down to Harry's Sandwich Company in the heart of Harajuku, right off Takeshita Street. See you there!
Actually, so what my wife does, every winter and summer, she will invite a bunch of different writers who are living in the Tokyo area. Some writers, some poets, some just like individuals, interesting individuals that we know, and they'll be encouraged to write something every single day for a month. And this is in a Facebook group. And then my wife will take all of those entries that people have put in, and then every page will be like an edited down version of what that person is going through on that particular day. Sometimes there's little storylines that like follow through.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes there will be certain major events happening in Japan, like an earthquake or a flu or something like this. So there'll be like all this connective tissue between them, and we've released like 4 of them so far, like 2 summer, 2 winters.
Wow, that's great.
And you know, even for people that don't know the individuals, it is a bit of a snapshot of what it is like to live in Tokyo, particularly from an outsider's perspective. And actually in the back we have a little like yearbook style photos of every single person that contributed to it as well, so you can put a little face to the name too. So that was just like a little project that we've been putting together. It's out in a bookstore in Shimokitazawa that sells diaries.
Really? How intriguing.
Yeah. So that was just like a little idea. We're moving now into like very personal things that we want to do, like zines. So I released a zine about bad movies. I run a bad movie night once a month.
Let's talk about that.
Tokyo. The first Friday of every month at Bar Garigari. In Tokyo, we watch the worst movies ever made.
Wait, isn't that Ikebukuro?
No, Ikenoue.
Ikenoue. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Ikenoue, close to Shimokitazawa.
Mm-hmm. Yep. One station away.
Yeah. And we watch terrible movies, and on those movie nights, I do a short talk So if the theme of the month is like 50s monster movies, I will talk about other 50s monster movies, show clips, and go into a deep discussion, and not a deep discussion, but more like highlighting these curios of cinematic history, where it's just kind of like, oh, did you know this weird, fucked up, crazy movie existed that is also terrible? And then we'll sit down, watch a feature film with an intermission, because nobody wants to sit for an hour and a half, not talking, not doing anything. But heckling is encouraged. Heckling is fully encouraged. It's called Get Trashed. So, have a drink, come down, have fun. Mystery Science Theater, like...
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Heckle away.
That sounds great.
And so it's a good
that could be a
fun-
podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be just like a YouTube, just like set up a camera and just film the whole thing, just have everybody like sign like a waiver or something.
Oh, we certainly thought about it. A lot of the movies that we show, pretty much all the movies that we show, because it's in a public place, are public domain. So,
wait, like the movie, like what kind of movies? Can you give us some titles? Like what? Troll 2, Troll 1, Houseu, you know that one? Yeah.
Houseu is a legitimately good movie. I would beg to disagree that is not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie, but a lot of people... Movie. All right. Well, it depends on who's watching it. I think it's a good movie, but I mean... Like the majority of people watching it would be like, "What?" With the head scene and the ending where they're all naked in the water. It's like, whoa.
I think it's legitimately dope, but no, we're.
Okay.
The theory behind what movies we choose to watch.
Okay, yeah.
Big swings and big misses, right? So they think they're making Citizen Kane, but they're actually making the worst movie ever made. So they're like. It can't be tongue-in-cheek. It can't be like an asylum movie like Sharknado. They're a little aware, that they're cheesy and they're making a bad movie.
So it's like the movie, not Houseu, but the movie House 2.
House 2. So to give some examples, movies like Reefer Madness, which is a classic.
Yeah, okay, all right, I can see that, yeah.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, Ed Wood, yeah.
A lot of Ed Wood love. A lot of Bela Lugosi love there.
Oh, yeah.
And
I want to suck your blood.
But what we love a lot as well is a thing called mockbusters. I don't know if you're familiar with what mockbusters are.
Is that like kind of like the fake Scream movies or something? Or
kind of. That's what they are today. But where they originated was there's a lot of movies in Turkey in the 80s that the major cities in Turkey would get the reel for Star Wars or for Indiana Jones or whatever it would be, and you could only watch those in the cinema in those major cities. But the rest of rural Turkey did not have access to it, so they made Turkish reinterpretations of those movies.
No.
Yes.
No. That's a film festival in itself.
Yeah. Turkish Star Wars. Okay? They steal shots from the movie and for some reason have the Indiana Jones theme running the whole time. Turkish Superman is another one that we showed, which is fucking phenomenal. Phenomenally bad.
Are they singing and dancing?
They're not. No, that's more the Bollywood side of things.
Okay, because I've seen one of those.
Yeah, but
at least clips.
The most recent one we did was called Uchdev Adam, which translates to 3 giant men. Do you know the wrestler hero icon from Mexico called Santo?
No.
He was like this very famous Mexican wrestler in the 40s. And he would wear like this silver mask, luchador mask. But he'd be kind of like this spy, kind of like badass superhero character. So it's a Turkish version of Santo. Teams up with a Turkish version of Captain America. And they battle the villain of the movie, which is Turkish Spider-Man.
Wait, Spider-Man's the villain?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Spider-Man's a villain
really?
With almost 0 superpowers, Like, no, like, Spidey sense, no web sling, no nothing. Just in the costume.
He can run
with
fast.
super bushy eyebrows, for whatever reason they thought. And is just a psychopath that loves to shoot and stab people.
Oh my god, I want to watch this.
It is, so the genre is called psychotronic. It's like so messed up and so crazy that it is enjoyable in its uniqueness.
Oh my god.
And because they're breaking so many copyright laws, they can't copyright the movies. So all these films are like on YouTube. They're on Internet Archive.
Are you serious?
You can just watch them.
Oh my
they're
god.
all out there. Yeah.
That's insane. Oh my god, Faders, you should all have a film night at in your mother's basement or wherever you're. Oh my god, that is amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
How cool is that? How long have you been doing this?
We are coming up to the 29th month that we've done this, so
29 times.
Yeah, 29 times, once a month. So
wow,
2 years and change, and we've got a little core group.
Yes,
that come down to it. It's at an amazing bar called Bar Gari Gari in Ikenoe, and yeah, he's got a projector and a screen. Everything there, we have a little soundtrack for the evening, which is based on the theme of the film.
Oh my goodness!
Free gourmet popcorn.
Popcorn?
I season the popcorn myself.
Oh my gosh!
My own special blend. And it's just a fun night to come down to.
I really want to go to this. I can't believe. Dude, you are such a fascinating person. Oh my god! Because I know you through the poetry and the writing, and then when I got your book, I was like, oh, this is really incredible. I know your wife, Joy. I've known her for years, and so I of course you're an awesome person, but I had no idea how deep you roll, man. Oh my gosh! Like the film night sounds fantastic. So, okay, how can people out there that are like living in Japan or who are thinking of coming to Japan, how can they get involved and how can they find the film festival, or not the film festival, but the film night?
Film night. It's called Get Trashed.
Get Trashed. It's like Got Faded, kinda.
Yeah. And we're on Facebook. First Friday of every single month, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. We are there showing the worst movies in the world, basically.
Do you give a preview of what the movie is beforehand, or when you don't? So you show up and you have no idea what to expect. All you know is there's going to be booze, cool people, a crazy ass movie, and free gourmet popcorn.
Well, we will. I do make flyers and posters for the event. I actually make cut up flyers and posters. And so you will either know the theme of the evening, or I will actually expressly say this is the film that we're watching.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Jeez Louise. Okay. I think we still have. We have like 15 minutes. We got plenty of time. So let's talk about the Drunk Poets of Tokyo.
Sure.
So let's talk about that. So how did that get started, and can you tell us about the poetry group?
Drunk Poets, that started a little bit before my time. Like discovering it. That was Sam Bennett and Sorsha. They used to host it. Sam Bennett is still on. Sorsha's left. And actually my wife took over post-COVID. It's been going for maybe like 10 years now, I would say. And that was an evening that, when I first came to Tokyo, I got involved with like improv comedy here, which led me to, all the theater kids and all that kind of thing, Tokyo International Players.
Yep.
And then, they were putting on a show there at Gari Gari. And
it's a good place.
And then I found out about this open mic poetry night. And when I say open mic poetry night, yes, poetry is like the main theme of what's going on. But basically, you have 10 minutes to do whatever you want. So if it's music, if it's a Dada-esque performance art piece, if it's stand-up comedy, if you just want to get up there and talk, and tell a story about something that happened recently, short fiction, poetry, and like whatever it might be, you have 10 minutes to do whatever you want. And it's such a welcoming and warm group. We are not literary snobs who are sat there with our arms crossed going, not too sure about the last third of what you did there. I think not quite up to par, Like, everybody is super inclusive.
Absolutely.
Super supportive.
Yeah, 100%.
And that felt so warm and welcoming to me. So I've, frequented there for so long. And, I didn't really do a lot of poetry. So usually it'll be, musical performances. Actually, the very first character that I did was a character called Baron von Bastard.
Baron von Bastard.
Yeah, Baron von Bastard, who was kind of this noise rock hip hoppy kind of character that I would have this loop station. I would record all these loops at home, and I'd have this RC505 that I would play these loops through, and improvise basically. So I would improvise songs, and I would rap, and it would all be freestyle. And it would be all done in this character. So, one step removed. It's no, it's not me, Ken Kawabata. It's this character. And that kind of really allowed me to kind of, open up a lot. The name came from a kind of ironic moment I had with my father, who I had a contentious relationship with. One day we were having an argument, and he called me a bastard, and I just reveled.
Wait, your dad called you a bastard?
My dad called me a bastard.
Wait, are you a bastard? Are you born out of wedlock?
No.
Oh, so that's weird. That's a weird thing for a dad to call his kid. I mean,
exactly.
Right?
And the irony of that.
Yeah, you have to look it up. You're like, wait a second, I'm not a bastard.
Yeah.
That means my dad, and you got to look it up. My dad's an asshole.
So that was the drive of that is that you got to kind of own words that at one point might have scarred you, and you're kind of no, fuck you. Lean into it. And I don't know, can I show you something?
Yeah.
So I have.
You got bastard written tattooed on your side.
I have it tattooed on my body.
Oh my god! Because of your dad.
Because I own that word now.
You do well, yeah. Well, if it's tattooed on you, you own it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's trademarked, basically.
And it's something that nobody can fucking take away from me. It's
they can't take the bastard out of you.
That word will never affect me again.
So it's
a
shield.
I mean?
Oh, when he called you a bastard, it affected you.
Yeah.
But then you owned it, and then you took it, and you used it.
Correct.
Wow,
Correct.
good.
You confront it.
That's awesome.
And that was kind of the way. And becoming this character, Baron von Bastard, that led to, me calling myself Robot Bastard.
Yeah.
Eventually inspired by a short movie that I saw. Which is a character name I still use, and that eventually evolved into Pope Bastard.
Pope Bastard.
So that was kind of the evolutionary path
Poba.
into it. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great and dark.
Everything is, man. You gotta fucking walk into the darkness. To feel like there isn't these gods of darkness and war and anger within us is, quite frankly, naive.
Dude, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. All of these things are within us. What we can't allow them to do is to control our lives.
Yeah.
For the anger to take root in negative and abusive ways, but in fact to kind of control it to the point where you can then funnel it into your work.
Absolutely. Dude, I'm a painter.
Yeah.
Dude, all the negativity and hardships and just horrible bullshit that I had to deal with in my life. I mean, dude, I could write a bunch of books about all the messed up shit that I had to deal with in my life. Yeah, if you're watching this podcast and like, oh, Johnny, you know, he's this painter in Tokyo, and he's got a podcast, and he does all these things at events. Yo, it took a lot of fucking really bad things to happen to me to give me the strength to do what I'm doing now. And I still feel like I got so much more to do. But yeah, there's so much more to prove. But yeah, you got to take all that negativity and just like use it. Because if you don't use it, man, it's just going to eat away at you. And another thing is you can't think about it too much. You know, like if something bad happens to you, you think about it, but you don't let it eat you up. You know, you got to use that negativity.
You got to, in one way or another,
channel it.
You got to talk about it, right?
Talk about it.
So you gotta talk to people you trust. Go talk to a psychiatrist.
No, I talk to people I trust. I talk to my bartender. So yeah. I don't know. I never had a psychiatrist. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. For some of you guys, maybe that's a good thing.
What I'm saying is for people that are struggling.
Yeah.
And everybody is struggling.
Yeah.
And that's a point of one of the songs that I have on my album, which is just called Depression. And there's a line in there that I say where it's, I don't trust anybody that doesn't have depression. What kind of world are you fucking looking at? You know, because it's like, yeah, of course you're depressed. Of course you're frustrated. Of course you're stressed out. If you are not, I question your judgment about what's happening around you. Now, if you let that, make you descend into a dark pit, that is not healthy.
Yo, but this guy's obviously a writer. Buy his book today. Oh my gosh.
But it's through discourse. So discourse can take many forms, which is why I bring up psychiatry. It can be with friends, with yourself. It could be the voice in your head talking to yourself, going, it's okay, we can process it this way.
Yeah.
But it's finding an outlet. An
outlet, yes, absolutely.
Just trying to speak to your point that if you just internalize, it's very easy to spiral. And because you don't have anybody else, you don't have a voice outside talking to you, responding to you, being able to give you good advice about it, and it doesn't feel cathartic. Because it's just roiling around inside of you. But if you put it on the page, make something constructive. Write a song.
Absolutely.
Draw,
paint, sing, get in a mic, record something,
make a podcast, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Finding an outlet.
Agreed.
Is
going to the gym. That's also an outlet too.
Yeah.
Running.
Yeah.
Swimming. Well, maybe not swimming,
but finding a community.
Yeah.
Finding people, because it's like, growing up, it was always such a cliche in the 90s, in the late 90s, early 2000s, for people to be like, oh, you like Radiohead? Well, that's just like a song to sit your wrist by. Like, what are you doing?
Well, who said that?
Everybody. Everybody said about the Smiths and Radiohead and all this shit. That they said, oh, it's just sad music. It's just depressing music. And I would go, no. This is the most hopeful music that I can listen to because it's a person that understands where I'm at.
Yeah.
That I am not alone with this feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that in some small way, if people can get, one person can get that from my writing or from my music or from, whatever, anything that I do, that is always the goal.
Yeah.
Just to reach out one person to go, it's okay to be weird. It's okay to feel like an outsider. It's okay to be depressed because, I am with you, and you're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think finding a creative outlet or any kind of an outlet to channel anything. Oh, we got 10 minutes. Here, can you pull up the phone?
Yeah.
Should I take it? You got it?
Hi. 10分で大丈夫です。はい、ありがとうございます。どうも。はい。
Well, finding a creative outlet to channel all your negativity or loneliness or anything like that, I think is absolutely a must.
Sure.
I think absolutely. I mean, and it could be not just one outlet, but several outlets. Mm-hmm. It could be like exercise, but it could also be like writing. And I think writing's a great way, like writing a journal, writing poetry, writing a novel, painting a painting, writing a song, singing in a band, making your own music, doing anything that you can just to channel all your negativity or sadness or anything that you have or whatever that's just like bothering you or something.
Okay.
I mean, we all have good days. We all have bad days. You know, when you have a bad day, I mean, just go out there. I mean, I drink a lot, but I mean, drink for some people is not the best thing, you know. But doing something positive, like doing something creative, I think that's awesome, and I highly encourage that.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing, Ken, that I really respect about you because I didn't know about that kind of like situation that you're with, but I do know that you are producing some absolutely brilliant work. And what I really want to do at this very moment is plug this brilliant novel that you wrote. Necro City is absolutely spectacular. I read it, and well, I read the first like chapter and a half before it got stolen. Things do get stolen in Japan. It happens, but it got stolen. And then when you gave me a second copy from the goodness of your heart, and I read it, I absolutely loved it. I'm so glad that you gave me a copy because this is absolutely spectacular. This book is amazing. I highly recommend that all you faders out there go out to the Moon was that Moon Hotel Press?
Moon Hotel Press.
Moon Hotel Press is written on the back. Moon Hotel Press, and definitely buy this and then explore some of the other like beautiful like content that you guys have.
Amazing.
Poetry, diaries, and all sorts of other amazing things. And in your CD as well.
Yeah.
You know, go out there, buy some stuff. And then the thing is, you know, when you buy it and you enjoy it, give it to somebody else because they'll probably enjoy it too, and then they'll explore your website as more, and then
For
I think
sure.
that'd be absolutely fantastic.
And can I make one little shameless plug before we finish?
I want you to make as many shameless plugs, and definitely plug one more time your film night. I think your film night is super cool. I had no fucking idea that you were this super cool. I'm so happy for tonight. After this, we're gonna get really drunk. By the way, yeah, like right now, I'm pretty drunk. I haven't had dinner, by the way. So right now,
Me too.
this is Johnny drinking without any food in his stomach. Hey, all right, we've got like maybe 4 minutes before we got to pay double.
So, quick plug. So, first of all, get trashed. First Friday of every month. Bar
Hell yeah.
Find us on Facebook, moonhotelpress.com. Also, I myself have my own podcast.
What?
It's called Full Cage. You can find us on Apple
Spell it.
Podcasts. Like Full Cage.
FULLCAGE.
Yeah, Full Cage. 2 words. Yeah.
Good name.
We review bad Nicolas Cage movies.
How many are there?
There's a ton. We went through a lot. We
Nick, come on.
We're fans.
Get
of
your
this.
shit
We're
together.
fans of him. But there was a big period in his filmography from about like 2009 to like 15 where he just said yes to every single project because he had issues with the IRS. So we reviewed a whole ton of those movies. You know, the motto of the show is we watched it so you don't have to.
I love that.
It's me and my friend, you know, childhood friend from many years ago. He's now a screenwriter. He's got like a, you know, big movie out in Poland at the moment. He's like doing his thing. And it's just me and him breaking down these movies, talking about Nicolas Cage as an entity and saying how far on the cageometer he goes. Does he go full cage or is it just kind of like medium cage?
Oh, God, full cage. Oh, my God,
Yeah.
that's going to be like... In this episode, Johnny did not go full cage.
Yeah.
I went maybe 10% cage.
Yeah.
Last episode, I went full cage, man. It was dirty. It was bad. It was raunchy. It was horrible. I took off my shirt. Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, one more time. What is the name of the podcast?
Full Cage.
Oh, God. Well, there you go. Full cage. Oh, my gosh. All right.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you can find us there.
Go there. All right, and also go down to the show notes because all the things that we talked about is going to be down there in the show notes. Check it out and support Ken because Ken is absolutely awesome, especially this book right here. I fucking love this book, dude.
I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you did.
It's great.
And thank you for having me on the podcast,
Dude,
by the way.
thank you so
It's
much
really
for being
nice
here, man.
reaching out.
Absolute
Yeah.
legend. Absolute
Nice
legend.
meeting you.
All right, faders, you know what to do. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Sign up for the Patreon. It really helps us out. And if you don't have any money, it's okay. We still love you. Mwah. Peace.
My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
I've got a government job to abuse and a lonely wife to fuck.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
God, the pressure! I can't take it! I can't take it! I can't get to it!
You sure excuse me?
We're going freaking! We came, we saw, we kicked his ass!
Your move, creep.
Oh, man, I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up repugnant shit.
Suicide into suicide.
Ah, fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.